I'm delighted to be with Aaron. Massive thanks for being at the MC of the Commercial Property Summit. First time we've done the Commercial Property Summit. How was it?
It was a fantastic event, being the first one, so I'll say, well done.
Please get your sanitised hands together and put them together for Mr. Jack Jeans!
Thank you very much, Aaron.
A huge day ahead. I don't want to bore you with the full spectrum from A to B.
Move, get up, do something. Have some human engagement, refocus your eyes.
We do suggest you take advice from a strategy perspective, finance perspective, and also having a very specialised solicitor. All three of those aspects are key when investing in commercial property.
For commercial leases, you can have a lease without security of tenure, so basically it doesn't roll over at the end of its term. It comes to an end specifically on the end of its contractual term or its break notice term.
It's been a great event, jam-packed agenda, people talking from and sharing their expertise across all sectors really, and likewise it's been great for us to be able to sort of share our wares, share our experience on the project side of things and surveying side of things.
And back to the life cycle, so acquisition, if you're buying commercial property as an investment or a development, investment's more important. Definitely get a survey done, it doesn't cost you much. For the amount of money or equity you're going to put into a property, the sake of, I don't know, £1,500 is definitely worth it.
Now, most of that activity in the buy-to-let market, which delivers very similar numbers, is people like you. In the commercial market, it's not. Only about 15% of that 44 billion of transactional activity is small private investors. The commercial market has a lot of pension funds involved. It has a lot of very big kind of huge organisations buying very, very expensive Canary Wharf office blocks and things like this. So commercial's really two markets for me.
I think particularly here in London, where the generations are really currently now really struggling to afford homes for them and their kids. This idea, multi-generational living, this is the one that was done at Queen Elizabeth Park, East London.
What are care villages?
Okay, so the concept is the developer will get a large plot of land, and at the outskirts of the land they would develop a number of bungalows. Those bungalows would then be sold to people who must be over 50 to get in to the bungalows. As the people get older and their needs for care are advancing, they will move them into flats, and then in the very centre of the village there's a care home with associated shops and such like.
How do you try and increase your returns from a typical long-term apartment? Increasing yield can be done by having shorter-term lets. We went into that world in 2006 and gradually, organically grew that part of the business. And
for me, what that means is bringing people back into town centres. So it should mean that people can live in town centres. What form of living that is. It could be normal residential accommodation, it could be hotel, it could be a part hotel. There should be a range of different accommodation types to suit people, what people want to do.
We save the high street, but it's not about save every business, it's save the concept of high streets.
For me personally, when you ask that question, I'm always looking at assets where the fixed asset as it stands now is not the only opportunity, it's not the only functionality for it. And I try and use that as much as possible to hedge any possible issues like that.
Now, Toolstation have a very simple expansion strategy. If there's a screw fix there, they want to be there.
One of the reasons for it is 40% of global greenhouse gas emissions are coming from real estate. And that being the case, we are an easy target as an industry.
Oh gosh, what's been interesting in who's in the room. There's so much experience and knowledge to be shared. And not only to be shared, but people are happy to share the information. So it's a fantastic community that we're all working together on. And everybody wants each other to just grow and just succeed.
The office space isn't needed and co-working kicks off a lot more than it currently is. We can then rent those desks out individually as opposed to office lets. So we always look at how we design the space and how it can be utilised in future-proofing the asset.
Challenge that it was all within 25 kilometres of the hotel, and we said that's not quite possible because there's not as many manufacturers as we need, but we did our absolute best. And all the materials were very considered, as I said, sustainably and locally sourced. Here we've got carpets, they're made of actual recycled fibres.
Like even talking about exit, will
is a tenant of a building, so he takes a lease in, and their exit is Will. Will's exit is Nicola, because Nicola's got to find someone that wants to rent it. So it's all like the full life cycle of a property, and I think it was great to see. Certainly you two, because you work together, it allowed you to see the full process and full schedule, and it